So Lyrical and Melanie, your two casters here. We did see a Kunkka in the last game paired together with the Shadow Demon by VP, and that one didn't quite go so well. But Kunkka as a hero, I feel like, has been quite strong in dogfights, certainly one of the best roamers with it.
Kunkka's been the solid position 4 choice for most of the Chinese teams. Victoria in particular has been playing it a lot. Yeah, actually tipping a little bit of reserve time. He likes, what, Shaman a decent amount. We've seen Victoria play a fair amount of Tusk. They could take a page from their sister team, LGD.F.Y's book, and go for the first phase Lich.
It is really interesting that they keep the focus on all of these position 4s. Like, all of these heroes have been played in position 4 roles at various times.
It's been a position 4 patch.
Yeah. And there it is, the Tusk that you're talking about for Victoria. We'll see how much these two heroes can mirror each other's movements and make stuff happen around the map.
We have seen some Oracles picked versus Kunkka. They could also focus on their offlaner if they want a Shaker. There's a lot of ways that they can go right now. I've also seen OD picked a lot versus the Kunkka, but I think you would say that for your second phase, and Puck could also be a good first phase pick too. But 11, yeah, 11 does.
Yeah, and it's sort of a lot of different opportunities. Yeah, 11, I believe that he was really well known for Tusk when he was the offlane hero,
Yep.
right? So if they wanted to switch that up. But Coddle, at least for now, incredibly strong as part of that dual lane. It doesn't really solve the problem of how you deal with the Kunkka, but you could go back for something like that OD, or just don't get X'd. That's
They
the
can
other
just
way.
have strong lanes though. I think Coddle makes your offlane a lot stronger because he can shove in that lane against a carry. He provides a unique aspect to the offlane that most supports don't. Like, Lich is very defensive. I think Coddle is the complete opposite and is very offensive. You just always shove the lanes in. Lich pulls it back to your tower, but this way you can set up for big tower dives easily.
Or the other way is, like, you know, do that off the side pull afterwards as well. Yeah, but IG Vitality, this has been a staple for them for a very long time. In July, he loves to play as Batrider, and it just sort of fits. It's now like sort of two of these single target isolating heroes with a lot of control. We also saw Silencer a lot paired together with Batrider. Could be an opportunity here for that as well. Do you think that, I mean, it feels like it's just like monster initiation then coming out from IGV if they went that route.
Banned out.
Yeah, taken away.
Coddle also opens up your hero pool too. I think you can, like, Bristle is a lot better with Coddle. What other ones are there? There's some like cool stuff you can do, like double chains on Ember Spirit, double stuns on Lina. Like, there's all these things that you can combo with.
Double dagger PA.
You can get quad dagger, dude.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Also, it opens up your core options in the sense that you don't have to buy BOTs a lot too. Like, normal heroes that are terrible at split pushing can actually split push very well. Storm Spear also very, very good with this hero. Maybe not so much versus Kunkka and Bat, but still a possibility. Maybe he does play Storm.
The other thing is, if you get that farm up into Coddle, we've occasionally seen lineups where they'll do it with like a getting the extra mana added into it also. So that way it's like plus 400 chakra magic
That
or
thing
something.
is godly.
Yeah, it's insane. And I saw it played with a Medusa, and then they had like a Nyx Assassin also. So it was like Mana Leak, Mystic Snake, and then Mana Burn. And they had no mana, and then they were always throwing out a ton of mana from the Coddle. It was great.
Oh man, it's double mana burn too. No cooldown. Ooh.
Yeah. Good thing. Well, Nyx has already been banned out, but yeah, that would be pretty cool. I think a Medusa would be kind of a neat way to play it here, and it's a hero that you wouldn't really mind getting lassoed, right? As long as you can survive.
It's just slow. You just fight away from the Medusa. Then if you're Batrider. Also, Batrider is not really vulnerable to the Stone Gaze counter initiation because you're already facing away from her anyways. So normally your other core will get picked off if so.
Okay. Well, they are going to take that Storm out, which you had mentioned could be an issue. Mobile hero, and well, with LGD now up, they've already got a lot of roaming, but they have committed their 2 supports most likely. I guess that again, you could take 11 and offlane. So
likely 11. Yeah, probably 11 offlane.
Other things that we have seen at various points, it's weird because a lot of like the big strong heroes, they get countered out by Batrider just because of BKB Piercing disabled. So like Juggernaut or Sven or any of those farming heroes that Ame really loves. Back in the day, he played a mean Morphlane, but they're going to take the DP for maybe.
Was thinking about how heavy they want to commit to push. Maybe he doesn't actually play Death Prophet that much. He plays heroes that scale way more physically. Or magically, I suppose, but Death Prophet doesn't actually particularly scale that well. But it is a strong team party. They also don't have that like hard defensive support that you see so commonly paired with Death Prophet. Like you're always worried about her just getting lassoed and dying with or without her ghosts on. So normally you'll see Oracle, Dazzle. Those are probably the two most common pairings. I think Kunkka, Death Prophet also has a lot of value because of the boat buff on the Death Prophet. However, it just doesn't seem like their lineup is like super built around Death Prophet. Sven, the old school counter versus Death Prophet Warcry when she pops her ghosts, and her ghosts do physical damage, so very little versus Warcry heroes. And also, Death Prophet doesn't have that much armor, so Sven chops right through. But Blinding Light though, Blinding Light and Tusk, that jeez, Sven it's gonna be tough to get a lot of damage uptime on this in this game.
You know, one of the answers that we saw at Southeast Asia was a Bloodseeker pick also that was run together with a Sven, or to counter out a Sven, and it was run with the Tusk going for an Aghanims, getting a lot of farm. I don't know if that's a possibility here, but Bloodseeker has been making
memey, dude.
It was great though. It was amazing. I'll talk about that game for the rest of my life. It went Pudge Hook on a ruptured Sven,
and then
that. Walrus kicked him afterwards.
That's probably like 3,000 damage.
It killed him from 3,000 HP fully. So yes, it was amazing. Don't know if we're going to see it, like I said, but Bloodseeker even just inherently could be quite strong if they want to take that. But it's going to be the Tidehunter, so really emphasis on just pushing down lanes, getting objectives, winning team fights.
Oh, this lineup just screams, hey, build a pipe.
Yeah.
Their safe lane's going to be weak. I also don't think like Tidehunter cares that much about cold feet. Normally, you're deathly afraid of like a Sven AA plus whoever, plus whatever else you want in the lane. Kunkka, I guess, in this situation. But normally you're scared of that. But Tidehunter already has Kraken Shell. Kraken Shell double whammy versus like tri-lane 3 heroes beating on you and getting rid of all those mass stuns. So, and he can have the Coddle in his lane to just push down a tower and constantly chakra him. It's going to be problematic, I think, for IGV's safe lane.
Hey, double anchor smash.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even just for farming, that's actually pretty good. I like that idea. So the last ban of the Venomancer, it is now going to be IGV's turn to pick. Looking like they want to hold their high ground very emphatically. They still need a mid laner, most likely. That can push, maybe? I don't know, like, is there any great matchup against DP that could also, like, shove out lanes really easily and fight?
I wouldn't mind Razor so much. I think Razor's a pretty good versatile lineup. Highly mobile hero, but I guess the matchup's not particularly great. They actually don't have that much burst. Like, how do they kill people inside a lasso right now? It's really just Sven, so they need actually more burst from their mid laner. Sven's out. TA, I think, will fare very poorly versus Death Prophet throughout all stages of the game. Who else has burst that he plays?
Mirana, that's an interesting one. You still run into the issue of a pipe being built, though, and
yeah, I think like 11's like, I'm building a pipe at some point. Probably, maybe even first item here. I think you can just run at towers with pipe on Death Prophet and pipe on Tidehunter with Death Prophet and not really feel too bad about it.
I mean, they're going to be able to take Roche so early, just pop Exorcism, and Slark to finish it all off for Ame.
Wow, we haven't seen Slark that much at all. Slark versus Death Prophet, pretty good. Slark's, I would say, so-so matchup versus Sven just hits so hard that Slark generally has to pop his ulti very early on, but it's also very good versus core Mirana. Mirana struggle a lot after they get pounced.
Well, game number 1 now underway. LGD Gaming versus IGV. LGD still remaining perfect in the group stages so far. Played a hell of a lot of really good opponents. IGV yesterday were able to take a game off of EG, but in the end, they're, I believe, sitting 1-3. So a win here in any fashion would put them in a great spot towards certainly not being knocked out early on, but at least making it to that main event and possibly even to the upper bracket if they can start to build some momentum here.
I have to say I like LGD's draft a little bit more. I think IG Vitality is not bad, but it's not really good at any particular thing. I guess maybe trying to kill people with lasso, but I think Pipe like counters the majority of their lineup. Sven's going to get kited nonstop. And I think I guess the only question mark to me is Slark. How well is Slark going to do? But he's versus Batrider. He's one of the natural Batrider counters.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to build Mask of Madness.
There you go, the dream. That sounds pretty bad.
That sounds awful.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Game number 1, like I said, underway. The other things to sort of, I guess, watch out for in this game is, you know, how early on can they get those Roches, and do you feel like LGD are ever going to be sort of under the clock to make sure that things get done? It feels like they do scale pretty well.
No, I think with the Slark, that's the thing about the Slark. It's not all in for the push, and it works, I would say, extremely well versus the 3 cores. So in case things go a little bit funky in the mid to late game, they always have Ame to rely on.
Brutal, savage, ranked.
We've got the lovely setting pause. We've been actually pretty lucky there. I haven't had to be in too many pauses throughout the group stages so far. Things have been tending to run pretty smoothly, right on track. Always nice to see that.
Yeah, the teams this year get to play from the practice rooms instead of playing in some other area that's set up for them. So I think it makes them a lot more comfortable too. I think not having to shift their gear is underrated. Gives them a lot more ease because they have an area that they can call their own. It's like playing from your house.
Yeah. Wait! I love that. That's great. Yeah, it's definitely nice. And then I think also there's something to be said for like just being comfortable wherever you are and like practicing like you play, which is what they've been able to do. So other things to keep in mind here are Coddle. It looks like for now at least he's heading down bottom.
Do you do your predictions?
I did do my predictions.
Nice.
I put 0 to 5 number of Ancient Camps stacked.
You don't think Sven's going to stack Ancients?
I don't think that he's going to get an opportunity to.
You don't think his team is going to stack for him?
I think their team is going to get ran at.
What about Tidehunter stacking Ancients?
I actually, have you tried stacking Ancients on Tidehunter that much since those Prowlers have been introduced? It sucks.
Yeah, but you can still do them. I'm putting 6 through 10.
Yeah, it takes a while. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. I got LGD with most kills at the game ends, them taking the tower, and I have 6 to 10 towers by 25.
Okay. We only differ on the first one.
Okay. Our stream has been like the fastest stream, so I'm expecting this game to go insanely fast, just because it's like, I don't know, it feels like it's the push strat for some reason that's working on stream.
But yeah, our average game length is like 25 minutes.
That last one was the fastest of the tournament, apparently.
I believe it. Yesterday we saw, what, like a 19-minute GG?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 15-minute here.
Hopefully for IGV's sake and for LGD's sake, the game does not go on, or rather doesn't end up having to last forever for them.
They're like, still ahead.
Yeah, it's true.
What's your favorite moment so far from this TI, Gabe? And it's your first one, so I want to see what enchantments are in store for you.
It's sort of weird, right? Because I really, really liked the game of OG versus DC. It was like an 11,000 net worth lead at 14 minutes, which is like insanely high win rate. And then OG ended up pulling it back and winning. And that was like such a cool moment. But at the same time, it's so tough because you see these teams in the hallways, you see people playing, and then, you know, it's there's a person behind that it sucks for. As much as it's great for somebody, it always means that somebody else is losing out, which is sad in some way.
That's a good point, because they always do winner interviews, right? And
yeah.
When you lose, especially at an event like this, you don't want to really talk to anyone. Maybe not even your team at some points, and let alone an interviewer about how your game went. So I think they've done away with loser interviews in the past. But you're right. For every team that wins, there is a team that sometimes suffers a grueling defeat, and their dreams of getting a piece of that 27 million prize pool are going to be more and more dashed the more they lose.
Brutal, savage,
After some point throughout the tournament, I don't think we've reached there yet, but you're going to have to face the realization that you might be eliminated and not even go to the main event. And after like months of being super ecstatic about, or a month of being super ecstatic about going to TI, the realization sets in that you're not even going to play at the main event. So that's a little bit sad.
Yeah, I'm glad that there's more of them going and doing it now. Like the wild card thing, where, you know, for a long time it was multiple teams, because now they at least get to play all the group stage matches.
Yeah.
Like, whereas before they wouldn't even be able to play those. So I'm really happy that that got changed. And at a certain extent, you know, you gotta cut the teams down, make sure that everybody has an opportunity. I think that things have been changed. And at the end of the day, there's going to be winners and losers. That's just the fact of life.
If only you could draw in Dota like soccer.
brutal,
Actually, no, that would be
savage,
awful.
wrecked.
I thought about it when I was like, no,
Yeah,
that would not be fun.
That would be really bad. Yeah. And I don't think, I would not expect anybody to be, they're all going to be back in full force.
Has there ever been an instance in all the Dota games that ever been played that both of the thrones fought at the exact same time? Exact same frame?
I doubt it. I mean, that
has there's so many games though. Even if the probability is astronomically low, there's been an astronomical number of games, Dota games I've played, pubs and I'm talking about pubs mostly.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I bet that there probably was at least one or two where it was close. But, you know, a frame, if it runs at 60 frames per second, that means that it's 1/60th of a second would have to be the instances where it would be the difference. And there's been a lot of games, but I don't know if there's been enough games where with 1/60.
How many games have there been? It's like it's in the billions or something, hasn't it? Or is it hundreds of millions? I don't exactly know. I know there's been a lot.
There's been a lot of Dota games. Speaking of which, though, we've got another Dota game that's actually finally starting up for us, and 11 and Super punching each other in the face. Eventually, also in this tournament, we will maybe run into the Super versus Super matchup when IGV play against LFY, if indeed that happens. Whoa, dogfights?
Later dogfights.
This is a problem. Not what you want to see early on, and dogfights getting ran down. Just going to create whatever space he can and taunt away to his heart's content.
Might be worth it in skill of Gush. I'm actually going to miss out a lot because of this.
Oh, man. Well, 11, they'll find the kill. He's taunting them away and is eventually going to find the kill. Who do they give it to? They'll give it to 11. A nice little boon for him.
They actually pull 11 Tangos and a reserve. So he is off to a pretty good start. They actually focus a lot more. I don't see that very often, getting pulled as the offlaner.
In July here, knows the hero well, will be able to move over and steal himself some creeps. There is a good amount of damage onto him from Ame, and with Victoria showing up as well, I mean, they won't quite be able to do it. Maybe with the jump, that would have been well placed, but they scouted it out. In July, Firefly is wearing off, but not quickly enough, and he will be able to get away with a lot of those creeps.
Yeah, I wonder if he was considering blocking him off, or blocking the creeps off so they couldn't follow him.
Man, look at him, though. The LGD, they don't want to give this away for free here. Making the long trip to even find a deny, and now going to shoot a little wave out there, bring in July even further down.
No, the range creep deny. Yeah, why you do this?
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate. So, other lanes. We do see mid, it's going to be the Mirana versus the Death Prophet, with Tusk and Kunkka sort of matching their movements around the map and trying to make sure that each lane gets off to a decent start. You expect, with a Torrent hitting, I mean, what's the sort of, what do you need to find a kill in these lanes?
Mirana to use Leap.
Okay.
But she's not going to. Unless it's for a kill. So maybe.
You have to wait for the sort of moment to outplay him then. Yeah, I guess so. And thinking about going for it, the arrow ended up hitting a creep actually, and that could have been the death of him, but does not end up working out for him. But that's 2 blind torrents hit by dogfights. He's in their head.
2-minute rune on top, could be a brawl.
He's getting out of there. They actually do block off dogfight's path, and with the Orb of Venom, he should be able to run him down here if he can get another touch, but no.
It's boots versus no boots.
Well, still Paparazzi off to a hot start. Somebody that a lot of people would probably remember from the DAC mid matchup that we saw where he was able to keep the win over Miracle and Sunil and all the others. Uh-oh. That was watching the kill up top as it looks like 11's going to go down. You'll have to tell me what ended up happening there in just a second, as they are going to lose the Tidehunter.
I watched this super long-range Illuminate hit on to the Batrider. He wasn't even pounced, too. It was like just the very edge of it. It was great. After he got pounced in Dark Pack.
Got it. Well played there.
That's because he was trying to creep skip again.
Okay. We do also see that over here again, it's the Kunkka who keeps on making these rotations in, but it's showing that each of these lanes has potential to find kills on the offlane heroes.
Yeah, even despite 11 having that pretty good start. I don't know how he got so low. He probably like, it's probably one of those situations where he got, did his like cracking proc at all during the thing, or did it like proc right before and then they went on him?
It must have cracked proc right before because they got the stun. They got the stun out from Sven, and then they found the cold feet immediately afterwards. So they got the full duration stun on it.
July looking to wrap around mid. He's
Yeah.
gonna meet Victoria though.
Finding him. Yao there as well.
And
And
free deep ward.
that's
Wait,
a-
did they see him ward? I think they did.
well, they're still scouting. And it looks like they are going to be able to go for it. Or not.
Oh, it's a surgery ward actually up there.
2-1 start. Feels like LGD having a little bit better time in the lanes. Some of that is because Batrider ended up heading back to the jungle too and gain a nice bit of farm, but Tidehunter able to stay in lane a little bit longer, is almost level 5 and has a soul ring done.
Ooh, almost hit that. Pounce on bottom lane. Almost has soul ring done?
He has it done.
Okay. Oh, even with a keeper on his team. Usually you'll just see arcanes, but hood value this game. You get that item first,
Yeah. He's going to be going for it. It does look like they're trying to set up for something there, but with Coddle in the area also, it would be a really hard kill to actually make happen. They end up getting another deny there as well, but for now it's just sort of Radiant, mainly allowing Ame to farm freely while they're
going for a kill in mid though.
kind of macking around making stuff happen.
Oh man, the smoke with 3 people. Maybe he does have 3 Spirit Siphon charges.
See if he can make it happen. He'll have a lot of regen in just a couple of seconds. Doesn't end up throwing him out yet. He has 1 on the ancient apparition, but the regen not nearly enough. And they blow him up. I mean, that's what happens when you bring 3 heroes to a lane.
Yeah, they actually did not need a smoke there, but I'm sure they expected him to move to the north side. I don't even think any hero would have been able to save that.
Yeah. So Yao in the meantime can kind of go for trying to pull the creep wave past with Illuminate Blast, but he doesn't know where everybody is, and it's another big rotation in. The combo of dogfights and super, as well as the damage from Injuly. Slark could be in trouble if he ends up stepping too far forward.
He's almost 6. He's really close. Sark also has 90, so who cares that much? Let's see what the heck's happening.
They're jumping. Sakata forced to retreat. He is fine. But it's still top lane where 11 is just getting everything that he wants. And like Paparazzi has to back out and use his stun to create that little bit of separation. Old 11 still hanging on to Ravage if he wanted to use it. And with maybe heading up towards the north as well as Victoria, they might just be able to take this tower.
Yeah, I think it's worth blowing Exorcism. It's not like they're going to lose mid as a result because the keeper is going to be there. But it looks like maybe it's looking in deep for Paparazzi. This is real deep.
Oh my god, they're so far in. Paparazzi will not be found, but like the fact that he's just being bullied out of his own jungle at this stage of the game, it's pretty indicative of how this is going. And there's just been no pressure on Maybe at all. Or Ame rather. He has the recipe for Midas and almost has the gloves of haste. So mid lane, Sakata caught, is gonna leap, but it's not quite in the right direction. He manages to get the other side of that shards, but the snowball is gonna pull him forward. They're up on the cliff. Kinda doesn't matter. Now the stun onto 2. Looks like they'll be able to back out yet again.
No tower damage though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a decent exorcism because they got a kill, but looks like they will just be able to claim the remainders of a stack.
Yeah, and in the meantime, you do have 11 that's dealing the damage to the top tower by virtue of just killing off those creeps constantly. Paparazzi throws out the stun onto Victoria. Maybe he's also in some trouble. They don't have level 6 right now, no other stuns, and the turnaround is coming, actually. A big jump through. Death Prophet healing back up as well. Has all the Spirit Siphons, but not enough to keep him alive. And 11 too late with that Ravage. They end up losing their DP.
So greedy. Try to go in, but his ulti expired. They did set up a pretty good ward there, but that's a shrine value. Holy, 5 heroes.
That's the way you want it.
It's too deep too. They didn't actually get any damage from T1. I think I would have rather see them go for just the kill into the tower, but the shards actually push Sakata out of it, out of the gank, rather than trapping him inside.
And CS-wise, you can see that all of the top of it is hemmed in by the LGD team. Net worth, sort of a similar story, with the exception being that you do have Mirana as well as Sven. They're still fairly high up there. But Exorcism still in cooldown for 40 more seconds. They might use it to next time around to take down the mid tower and finally finish it off. So next couple of minutes here, how do you see this game playing out for both of these teams? Is Paparazzi just gonna, like, can he fight it all, or?
Not really. Just trying to do ancient stacks as much as he can. I think it's mostly them just trying to deal with the Death Prophet. You kill Death Prophet, you slow down the pushes. And you don't want the Sark to be very big, but you mentioned that he had Midas, he's going Midas, he already has Midas. He went a bootsless Midas too. So earlier than you would normally see. Sakata goes for the arrow onto Yao, but will not connect. And yeah, it's mostly just trying to slow the Death Prophet down, but nobody's top. He just gets a free exorcism on this tower. Maybe it's pretty underleveled though, I would say, relative to some of the other heroes in this game.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you die and you move around with your team a lot. They aren't able to use the Ravage too. Like, IG might tell you just aren't interested in fighting. No Blink Dagger on Bat Rider, no items yet on Sven, so no real good reason for them to fight right now. Unless they want to save their towers, but in which case they would probably get clobbered.
It's really interesting to me because you definitely see a way that, like, LGD is really focused on shutting down the entire span of safe lane towers along the top and then just, like, staying in the jungle. It's the same type of play that we saw in last game from LFY. Like, they're sort of focusing on taking down both of the safe lane towers, both tier 1 and tier 2, before they go for these other, like, even the mid tier 1 tower.
Well, they have the line to do it. With a Death Prophet, you definitely want to use your ulti. You don't just want to farm neutrals. Maybe in the downtime post replacement, but
I
just
mean,
like yesterday when you were so happy that Enigma uses Black Hole. Simple story. You just want to use those skills early. Sounds simple, but oftentimes the tendency is to.
No. Well, the hood almost completed for now for Tidehunter.
Look at Paparazzi, he's just farming up that stack.
This
is why you need to take down the T1 so you can stop this from happening. They see it, they have the Observer Ward there, but they can't actually. Ooh, actually, maybe with the smoke.
Wraparound's coming. Ame is there. That's going to be a dead Paparazzi. And no girl, great way to stop that. Sakata is still here as well. The Moonlight Shadow taking effect.
How did Ame wrap all the way around without anyone seeing him? I don't actually know the angle that he approached from. I doubt he approached from the tower. So that means he had to come from the left side, closer to the shrine. That's a tough one to give up. Sun's already a kind of slow hero in terms of when he can actually come in and out. It's going to delay it by a few minutes. They may be able to take this without exit, but I highly doubt it. Especially now that AA is 6.
It just felt like a very different pace of the game so far, and you've got a lot of farm on these heroes. I feel like it's so hard to just walk into 11 now. I mean, he can basically do whatever he wants. Kraken Shell up at, 3 points in it. He's got the hood completed.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants. Except for force vitality with T1.
Right.
That's what he really wants to do.
He is alone up here in the top lane. They're going to bring in the Ancient Apparition as well. He does have his level 6. So that is something that is going to be at least under the usage of IG Vitality pretty shortly here. and give them another avenue for dealing with the Death Prophet. Like, if DP can't regen from Spirit Siphon during these fights, that's one pretty big thing for him.
Yep. Gotta worry about the snowball, though. That's the thing. Like, if they blow all their spells too early, they snowball to save, they could be in a little bit of trouble, especially if it comes when that boat wears off. So, still waiting for the Blink Dagger coming out from in July. He still is a couple hundred gold away, but looking at his inventory, no Tranquils. I think it's a big giveaway for LGD that in July is pretty close to his Blink Dagger and is going to have it pretty soon. So, that's how you kind of gauge what he's going to go for. If he went for drops, he would have already had it by now because he's been the map for so long.
Paparazzi again just farming out these stacks. And it looks like we have the rest of LGD walking up the hill. He had just used Mask of Madness, so he can't stun right now. It's just now wearing off that silence, but already a bit too late. And Paparazzi going to fall. That was Exorcism used as well, but maybe he is going to head up towards the north, take down the tier 2 tower. And again, it's the focus on the top tier 2 as opposed to the mid tier 1.
They think they could take both, maybe? No. Yeah, that is definitely an interesting choice for them.
That's what I was saying. It was the same thing that LFY was doing last game for VP. Like, they're focusing on the tier 2 tower top as opposed to the tier 1 mid. I don't know. Maybe we'll see more of that as the TI goes on.
Yeah, maybe maybe they can play it around Roche a lot better. I don't know. That T1 tower is pretty important. But with this, they pretty much have full control of this one nation, I would say. They can wrap around from every which angle.
So Ame now, he is building towards the Shadow Blade as well. They're going to be able to deward this, give that gold over to the Slark. Still not really any way for Vitality to move around the map and make things happen without LGD having an inkling that it's going on.
That Rider is blink, so now he can do it. They just
Okay.
need to smoke up. But that's the thing. Who's going to follow up? Is it going to be a Mirana who rushes Defusal first? That seems really risky by Sakata. I could see this going really poorly for them.
So the idea is that what's the benefit of going Diffusal Blade over something like an Aghanims or what have you?
The Aghanims build has been phased out for the most part, just because the right click scales a lot better, and I think with Sven on your team, you definitely want the leap attack speed. I think we have seen some triple arrows here and there. Overall, you'll get way more value for the attack speed, 90% plus the speed. But the Diffusal versus, I would say other right click damage items are Maelstrom, Yasha, and Lance.
Okay.
Maybe I would say like Lance is pretty decent here. There's a lot of stuff that you want to stay away from, like Blinding Light, Death Prophet with her spirits and the Spirit Siphon.
Ravage.
The Diffusal Blade, yeah, Ravage, Snowball. Like there's tons of things that you like get me away from that. I think the thing I dislike the most about the Diffusal Blade, it leaves her super vulnerable to being killed by Slark. You don't want to be in that situation where you're gonna get solo killed by Slark. He also went for the agility talent at 10, so he has very little HP. And one Shadow Blade hit into a Dark Pack Pounce could just spell imminent death. Ame gets scouted out by the Sentry Ward. They drop another one in. And he's like full right click right now. The plus side is it will be able to nullify Death Prophet's Yule Scepter. That'll be pretty big.
Yeah, now they've caught him just for the moment. The Ice Path is going to be down as well. A hell of a lot of damage. The blast blew up. It does not connect onto the rest of LGD though, and 11's starting to take a good bit of damage, but like I said, that pipe there as well as the Kraken Shell naturally just going to keep him a little bit tankier, and now the X pulls back in 11. The Torrent follow up, the right clicks are there. IGV are able to make something happen with that Blink Dagger being revealed by the Bat Rider.
Yeah, maybe it was just way too far out there. They need 11 out in front to prevent these like heroes from blinking. And Sakata will just right click the tower down. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a 1-for-1 tower trade, but it's a big net worth swing in favor of IG Vitality for just a completely unprepared LG.
And it does feel like they've now gotten into an angle where they can start to make things happen around the map. They can find some kills, and certainly needed at this point in time of the game.
I doubt they'll be cut. I doubt they'll be that unprepared though. Like there was just a lot of things that didn't happen in the fight. There was no Ravage, there was no Snowball save, there was no Blinding Light because Diao was pushing mid. There was no Slark to scout out these heroes that need to be able to get the jump. And now that those ultis are down, Maybe, I mean, maybe it was just an intentional sacrifice so that they can get this tower for free. Who knows?
Hey, there you go. That's the way to do
I
it.
don't think that's the case, but that is the plus side. Ame looking for the solo kill.
This is that territory where Slark is just so frustrating to play against. But still, like you said, now without those big ultis on cooldown, off cooldown, it's going to be another moment.
Oh, Sven has Blink Dagger now. This could be really bad. Maybe did not go for any armor item. No Veil, which is pretty commonplace on him. Yeah, Yules or drums, but... Or sorry, drums or Veil, but and no armor on him. No Vlads, no Medallion. Oh, Solar Crest is actually very common, but...
Yeah.
Thought they were going to get blown up there.
It's,
paparazzi with
it still could happen. He's showing himself. The blink was already there, though, so they won't be able to at least catch them off guard. That being said, are LGD really going to walk into this right now? Ame is just gone. He ends up getting blown up by the Ice Blast, and LGD are going to follow suit in just a second here. This seems so bold for me. Unless they can find a quick pickoff on Paparazzi and trying to do it the snowball forward, they don't quite catch.
Yeah, he did Dark Pact off the lasso, but he was still hit by AA ulti, so no Shadow Dance for you. And they're just not really playing together in this fight. Look at 11. 11's never really there. You said he can do whatever he wants, but he's choosing to farm over helping his team out in these fights. And there is no lasso available to them, so they are getting something out of their ultimates, but they're giving away really big kills. First on Slark and two others, first on Death Prop and then two others now on Slark. So that's look at the XP just completely went to IGV's favor.
Yeah. Granted, there are still very strong moments in this game when you get your items. Yao is only around 800 gold away from finishing off his Aghanim Scepter, and when Coddle gets that, the siege that we've seen be pretty powerful becomes even more so. But you would love to not be giving up those type of kills at this point in the game. For IGV, is it just more of the same? Like, it feels as if they're just playing around their cooldowns and then sort of waiting almost for LG to run into them.
Yeah, what LGD are doing, they're like flashing heroes. They're like showing heroes and styling. Like, for example, 11 was just farming top, and then they're not really recalling them quickly enough to the fight. So they're seeing these like small opportunities where LGD, they're like, oh yeah, we can farm this lane. And then, oh yeah, we can farm this lane now too. We can get there really quickly. We can just TP in that in those seconds where they aren't there and they're getting recalled or they're thinking IGV strike. They just lose a hero before they can even react on LGD. They also don't have good defensive items. Death Prophet did go for a Hooded Defiance, but he's going to have to deal with a Broad Break from the Mirana, and no armor might be his downfall.
Well, top lane is where the LGD team continues to push. Still no Roshan taken. Maybe a little bit surprising. You've sometimes seen teams that run this DP Tidehunter just walk into Roche and dare the other team to come and fight him, but
AA back.
Yeah, I guess that's the scary
luck.
part. Nation Apparition is a good hero.
Certainly so.
Ame might just find him as Super walks up towards the high ground. We'll see if he tosses his ulti out. Will indeed do just that. And now Batrider pulls back in the Slark. I don't know if they're actually going to be able to kill him throughout the duration of this, though, as the chase is going to come. The arrow comes out. The torrent ends up connecting. Dogfights makes it happen. Super gives his life for the cause.
Ame just got completely outplayed there. His pounce got blocked, and then he got torrented as he was trying to run away. Wow. Normally you see Batrider countered by Slark, but he's playing very well. He knows how to deal with Slark. I'm sure he knows how to deal with every situation, considering how many games he has on Batrider.
Yeah. So that tier 1 tower maybe gonna fall now. IGV have opened it up. The arrow's going to fly out, but does not end up connecting onto anybody. They're feeling good. The taunts are coming back from Mr. Dogfights. He's got a Glimmer Cape as well. Easy peasy. This lane in this game has felt like what was looking really bad earlier. IGV have really come to be able to respond well.
It's just weird. This is why you don't see the Slark Death Prophet combination that much. Because Slark, he needs a lot of time to farm, and Death Prophet, you naturally would just want to group up and take towers. Same with Tidehunter. So right now it's leaning way more towards what Death Prophet wants to do, but Ame's like, I'm not ready to fight, but he was kind of dragged into these fights earlier where he's like, okay, get vision for us, and then he Shadow Blades, he takes off the lasso and he still dies, and then everyone just chain feeds on the bottom lane, and they're just on completely separate pages right now, which is kind of a natural tendency, I would say, given their lineup.
I guess, is that also like the Midas sort of indicative of that it was...
Not really, because what other item would have saved them from this fight? So Sark's just not an early team fighter. He was just not meant for that. So I think like either they need to be way more careful about the way they take 4v5s and then bring the Sark in afterwards, or they just not team fight early and just use Exorcism for very safe maneuvers.
Yeah.
He does have a Silver Edge now. I thought he was going for a Lincoln Sphere. Changes my mind.
Okay. So what's that going to be? Taking off the cleave from Spend is pretty good. And I guess also just the damage mitigation on it's going to be quite strong.
Can you disable the cleave?
I believe that is one of them that you can disable with
cool.
Silver Edge. Oh no. Might just more than disable. Ame is there, the jump forward that caught onto the DP yet again, and everybody is just dropping. Victoria came in to try and save the day, and now they've caught 11 as well. The boat comes out to follow it up. Everybody from LGD is just being torn asunder, and it just doesn't feel like they have an answer at all. They're always being caught out and picked off in these fights.
Currently, LGD are just not looking like a top seed team right now. They just... their teamwork is just completely non-existent. Maybe it's just been left out to die in the majority of these fights. BKB second item for Sakata. Well, I do like the BKB pickup with the diffuser, so you have one purely defensive item and one very offensive item. And they are just rolling down towers right now, 2 BKBs, so I don't actually... even if they were there, they can just BKB off the Ravage, or BKB through the Ravage, Warcry through the DP ult, and just run at the Death Prophet. So this is actually getting quite scary for LGD. Maybe has died so many times that he might be a non-factor, and Sark has also fed away much of his lead to the point that he is gonna maybe not be able to carry this. Looks a little dicey for him.
Yeah, I wonder if you even like sort of switch up the game plan at this point and just try and like build purely defensive to get to the super late game and wait for those BKB charges to get low. I don't know.
They just need to protect the Death Prophet better.
Yeah.
Like he just gets lassoed and dies. There's no counterplay, no snowball, no Ravage. Again, we have not seen a Ravage yet this entire game from LGD. And finally, they will finally group up as 5. They do have... oh, it's the fake? Wow.
Okay. Paparazzi is there. If they go on him right at the start, they Ravage immediately. BKB hasn't come out. They haven't had an opportunity for it. It is going to connect. They do a hell of a lot of damage. Super trying to run away. The Glimmer Cape from the Kunkka, keeping him alive for the moment. And now the Torrent, the boat follow-up, it crashes onto both of them. It's only to make sure the rest of them can get away. So they take a big kill on Paparazzi.
Okay, that was some teamwork right there. Nice fake back.
They'll get a tier 2 tower as well. I mean, do they go for more? Sven doesn't have buyback. I guess it's just Roshan time now.
They don't have DPO. So, but they can threaten that same play again. I think going inside a pit, as we mentioned before, is not a good idea before against the Bat Rider and the AA. But when you wrap around like that, you get the melee range Blink Ravage onto the Sven. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. And they had enough follow-up with everybody else that it ended up working, obviously.
Now that's the sign of first team. That was sick. I'm expecting more of these big plays like LGD, where they get the jump, or they protect the Death Prophet. Like she gets the Yules on the Bat Rider as he blinks in or something like that. Or they able to get the Ravage on before the BKB, and it looks like IG Vitality, after those big ults have been taken down, will try to attempt Roche. I don't believe that LGD have any sort of vision, and if they do dare go up, they will get lassoed second. Waiting as you scan. It does hit just for a second on In July, but it is way too late.
Yeah, 11 maybe can walk into there, but he would just die instantly afterwards. Kraken Shell is not going to keep you safe from all 5 of those heroes. So IGB, they are in a position now where, you know, it's still a little bit of a net worth lead for LGD, but IGB are ahead in terms of experience. With this Aegis, what do you think their goals are going to be? Finish off all the tier 2 towers? Is it just to keep farming on Sven and get him huge?
They don't really need to group up and play. They just need to I mean, they can definitely with BKB, but they're still farming way better than LGD, and I think Mirana and Sven both scale a lot better than the Death Prophet. So I don't think they're scared to really take it a little bit slow. Only problem is they don't have recall. So I think that's probably a primary reason why they're losing out on net worth, is that recall just ups the farm up on your cores so much by not having to invest in BOTs and not having a TP on cooldown.
Yeah. It has been nice for them to allow that movement around the map. And well, we do see maybe thinking about going for a Bloodstone. This might turn into a Heart. We've seen a couple of those as like a 4th item usually for a Death Prophet.
Could be all 3.
Yeah, that too. But top lane is now where IGV are deciding to group up and push together. With the ultis back up and off cooldown now, LGD always have that option of taking that fight, but for now it's just keep the lanes pushed out with Ame, try and pressure the other towers, and see if you can force a response.
Taking the fight that they're in daytime, or they're getting so prospect. T1's not worth it at that point. Slark looks like he is maybe going to try and set up, though. They do, I believe, see the Sven, but he was just X'd, so I don't know if that was...
That was to push the creep wave out.
I don't know if it was spotted out by LGD.
Oh, okay.
Probably, likely. That's the thing. Sometimes you like ping heroes out on the minimap, but you don't actually physically look at the hero, and then you won't see that he was X'd.
Right. Well, and he is hiding right now, staying out of sight. Yep. Batrider is up there. Has the gem as well, so no, there's no vision in the area. Sven still hanging out behind. Do not see him.
So risky by Slark. Tree or Batrider could easily be on the left side of the trees and just lasso. They would die and probably lose a T3. So I'm a very risky play.
Maybe they just aren't expecting that Sven is there again, like you're talking about.
Well, he hasn't shown now in both plays.
Okay.
Now they have to know.
Right. All right, well, IGV, they back out now. They took 2 tier 2 towers. They can move mid next if they want, and it's kind of all without a great answer that you have from LGD.
The fake back.
Oh, and they might actually catch him out here. Victoria, he doesn't have a Blink Dagger to get into range there. Going for that wraparound. Don't believe that that was scouted. Just to see if they can find anybody, but it's not going to happen. That lane is still pushing in mid, and yeah, they realize that it's just not going to happen. So 30 minutes in, 7-11, a relatively passive game so far. And it's felt like it sort of had a weird energy at points too, because it's sort of like one team doesn't want to fight, and then they all of a sudden jump in, they try and take a big one because they smell an opportunity to, you know, make a play, and then they sort of back out and both teams farm a little bit more, and then it's like a flurry of action, and then it, again, settles down a bit.
It's been strange for sure. It's more so the ideals from LGD that just aren't fighting, let's say. Like, I think they're unsure about when they want to win the game. Stark thinks he can carry this, and that's why he was just power farming throughout the early stages. Maybe it's like, I'm not sure if we can take it late. Like, we need to take some towers now so we can farm up more of the map and have a net worth advantage going to the mid to late game. And then Stark probably thinks I have the inherently good matches, so I don't actually need net worth. But yeah, it's definitely been a little bit off both shows.
In the meantime, while they're all figuring out what it is that they want to do, IGV has a very clear philosophy. Get paparazzi farm, Sakata helps there, enabling him and eventually getting into that leap attack speed. And with only, what is this, 20 more seconds left for the Aegis, looks like they are not going to press the envelope. They're going to back out and continue another run of farm, which is, as we can see by the net worth graph, really starting to swing down into their favor because they've just been getting so much more out of the map.
Keep in mind, though, a lot of that gold is in PKBs. There's 3 PKBs on the dire side. One on Mirana, one on Sven, and one on Batrider, too. Batrider even prioritized BKB over the 4 staff. So, looks like Ame trying to lead Vanguard as they push past the shrine, and it is daytime, and the age has just expired. A trifecta of good events. However, they don't have detection.
Oh no, they need to be really careful right now. Moonlight Shadow is down, and we're not seeing any. Oh wait, Coddle has a gem. So they're all huddling around the Coddle, making sure they don't catch him. And IGV, are they actually going to make the call to try and push in this top lane and then force IGV back, or force LGB back? They don't have TPs on several of these heroes.
Well, they can just TP.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Instead, it's going to be a TP towards the bottom lane, and everybody gets out. What a weird sequence of events.
Well, LGD wanted to fight because of all those events that happened, and IG Vitality didn't want to fight because they know they have better team fight if they can jump, because they can just pop their BKBs and just run at maybe pretty much. As long as they kill maybe early on in the fight, should be pretty easy for them. Slark doesn't have BKB, so he can't actually stand thick of the
He is going for a Lincoln Sphere next, so more items just to try and keep that guy alive.
25% attack speed over 10% cooldown reduction. I usually see a think cooldown reduction.
For which hero?
Slark.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Could have gotten that value out of the Midas, man.
Yeah. I think he's actually pretty cooled up with this too. The other talents that are worth mentioning. Tide got 150 health over 50 damage. Oh, that lost value in farm.
Yeah, it's true. That, God, 35% experience gain is really good. But I guess against the Sven, it's pretty spooky. Another Moonlight Shadow coming through. 60 GPM of the Ancient Apparition really paying off, and they are going to run into 11 right here. Is that the target they really want? They're instead going to find maybe yet again. They catch him, they kill him, they bring him down in just a second. BKBs, they're out. No, the Yule Scepter keeping him alive for the moment. Victoria's there for the snowball save, and now they're all grouped up together in July, trying to stay tall in this as well as Ame starts to build up those Essence staff, taking down dogfights. He is in a hell of a lot of trouble, and Super is caught in by the creeps over there as well. Maybe is doing so much damage with the Spirit Siphons, and Paparazzi couldn't even end up hitting him. Victoria created that separation with the shards. My God, they're getting destroyed. LGD strike back in a big old way, and when the fight finally happens, they win it emphatically.
Wow, Victoria is by far the MVP of the team fight. He kited the entirety of the BKBs on these heroes. Those were 10-second BKBs. That is no small feat. He just sat in the snowball on a very far target, and that was like 5 seconds right there.
What? Are you? Alright, Snowball, stay in the snowball! Run away! It doesn't matter, he dies when he comes back out, and the gem is actually on the ground as well!
Ame.
Oh, Ame. Yow now. Where's he going? Another arrow is going to get thrown out. They'll able to dodge that one, but...
At least they swapped the gem. That was actually very crucial for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ame just walked up the hill and just died. Okay. Oh, man. It's not been on this game. I think he should have taken over this game.
Yeah.
Resolution would have taken over this game.
Damn.
The Rezo's, I think, widely considered by the pros as the best Slark player.
Yeah.
And he died a lot. He had how fast was the fight? He went movements minus, so it was like 7-8 minutes.
I think that I saw it there around like 8. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's inherently a good matchup for a lot of these heroes too. Maybe not versus the BKBs early, but he kind of allowed them to get BKBs early. Yeah, that's a super easy Roche. Slark dead.
Well, what was looking so great for LGD just a couple of seconds ago has now fallen by the wayside, and IGV continuing to assert dominance over this game. Daedalus Sven is done. He's almost at that level 20, so he can get the evasion or attack speed if he wants as well. And then the other big one is Mirana. They don't have an answer for Cicada here, who has his butterfly completed, and Aegis now, he's going to start hitting these towers, and I don't know how LGD stop it.
We'll see. I think, yeah, I don't think you can count on that masterful play by a Tusk again. And that's really only what saved the last fight. I thought they were going to get
Leaps away. Yeah, that was the snowball, and then also I think that I saw like a shards blocking the little bit of distance between. That was so good.
The shard block was godly.
Oh, and this is the really nice part too. X and TP's back home, so they... Well, actually now we're maybe going to be a little bit punished by that. Dogfight's trying to TP away to throw out the arrow. Sakata needing to get out of there. He is going to leap away. So Dogfights will be the lone death as the rest of IGV retreat back home.
Ooh, 20% evasion too. It's unusual. Usually you see attack speed. Evasion is pretty useful for Slark. I highly doubt you can get this guy. Oh, actually there's Butterfly on Mono, so yeah, maybe so.
I wouldn't mind seeing, they could go for like a halberd for Slark too if they wanted. Oh, Lincolns, there it is. They reveal it now, and now they're going to have to back out. Now, Angelai trying to run away. The BKB pops out. Paparazzi wanted to hit people rather hard, and Ame shows up as well. Maybe has popped his ultimate. They're throwing out a really good Ice Blast. It's going to connect onto the two most important heroes, and Ame getting brought down. Sakata was able to get a couple more right clicks, and the Blinding Light actually pushes the Sven into Maybe, and Angelai is going to fall 11 with the big Ravage. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. Sakata doing a ton of right-click damage here onto Maybe, and Paparazzi starting to drop low. They're all jumped in. The silence is down onto 2, and that's going to be a dead Sven. I don't know if Super is going to be able to do enough when they come back up right now. X is there. Maybe is still in some trouble, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Sakata still staying strong, has a Manta Style ready and turns it now, is starting to deal the damage and is going to kill off Maybe. Wasn't able to survive through all of that right-click. And another one comes out. It's more than enough damage from this Mirana, who has just been masterfully played by Sakata.
Those were some excellent Ice Blasts from Ancient Apparition. Those were pretty... I think the first one was really long range, and the second one was pretty short range, but he connected on this very, very important targets. Holy cow, was that big. Everyone's making plays this game.
I know, it's nuts. 8,500 damage dealt by the Mirana, too. Like, you would expect it to be the Sven in these engagements, but she is just so farmed.
Yeah, they're not doing a good job of kiting the Mirana at all. She doesn't really feel any pressure. He wasn't able to connect with that pounce before when the fight first started, and then she wasn't forced to pop her BKB until later on in the fight. If you get pounced, I think you have to pop her BKB that early, so you don't get ravaged.
Yeah. Again, IGV with that lead, now 4K into the bank, and right around the same amount of experience. And when we get to the talent levels as well, the level 25 on Mirana can be so hard to deal with. You just shoot those arrows like crazy. And is now going to be going back for a Mjolnir as well. So wave clear, everything else on her. So that matchup in dynamic between Slark and Mirana, talk to me a little bit about that, because that feels like that's what's going to be the carry role is sort of about.
I think at this point the Mirana is so farmed and the Slark doesn't have BKB that it's just hugely problematic for the Slark. Like, look at the net worth difference between these two. Normally you don't see this Mirana this far ahead, but she is becoming by far the best right clicker in the game. Sven gets kited too much. Mirana, even without her lance, is just almost unkiteable, I would say, at this point. She has the flutter during the BKB too, so she just right click at will. Whereas Slark, he just has to pop all his defensive skills very early on. If he gets hit by an AA Ice Blast, he's out for the fight for like 10 seconds.
And A does have an Aghanim Scepter as well.
Yep.
So long duration on that ice path.
Kuka went for Halberd, so Slark's life is even more difficult. Or you can just pop the Links immediately on in the fight, and they really need to stop this Roche from being taken down.
Yeah.
But they've given away 2 free Roches already. Oh wait, no. Yeah, it was 2 Roches. Both of them have been on Sakata.
Now it's evasion on 3 different heroes. Uh-oh. That's going to be another jump onto Injali. He does pop his BKB though, and thought about sticking around long enough to secure that observer ward, and they're actually still in the area. They could still go for this if they want to. They're going to back out. But yeah, with evasion now on 3 separate heroes, do you think it's worth it for the Slark to go MKB instead of Scotty, or does he kind of have to go Scotty?
Yeah. To be fair, he's not right-clicking that much. Yeah. So Scotty's probably especially versus 3 BKBs. So he's mostly there to control instead of actually do damage. And then later on in the fight, once you get your stacks, then you can start right-clicking like a monster.
It's gonna walk uphill here. No vision as of yet. Kata does spot him out now as well, and they're doing a good bit of damage. Ice Blast comes in, it actually connects. Ame almost is going to die because of the cleave from that right click. We'll have to keep our eyes on him and see if he drops below the threshold. But Popsarty just pops out and blinks away. They have caught this Kunkka here. He gets the silence out as well. And Ame is going to end up dying off to the side. They pop the Ravage, they pop Exorcism, and they only get a Kunkka kill and lose their Slark. This has gone tragically. And now 11 in a hell of a lot of trouble trying to back out and get away. But I don't even know if it's going to be enough. They find that kill as well. Godlike for the mighty Mirana, and Yao maybe going to be the only one who's able to get away from this, but I don't even know if that's going to happen because he has Blink Lasso here as well. No fuss, no muss, not needed. Right clicks are there, and Yao too will fall.
AA Ice Blast destroying the Slark so badly, and now it just looks like Slark is completely useless.
That was nuts. It was like I think that he would have lived if it hadn't been for like the last cleave coming in from Sven as well. All right, leap attack speed is there, and they are all hitting so hard onto this tower. Oh man, LGD. Are they going to be faced with their first loss of the tournament? Looks like the answer might be yes, unless there's something miracle that happens for LGD.
I think it's just a weird overall play with the dichotomy between the Death Prophet, what Death Prophet wants to do and Slark wants to do. I think that's the biggest thing in this game that LGD struggled with, is like when to fight. They just weren't as 5 a lot. None of the tanky, like the Ravage too, like Tidehunter also I guess fits into the whole Death. He should be on the Death Prophet side, but he was out farming a lot, and Yao was also farming a lot. We usually see him like, recently he like split pushes a lot on the Shadow Shaman, but not to this extent where he was almost non-existent for the majority of the team fights.
And you said that difference in philosophy, it's going to be you gotta all be on the same page at least. It's tough to tell. It's tough to know what exactly is gonna what's going on.
If it was like, I think maybe the Sven pick threw them off a lot. Maybe they wanted to go for like a Death Prophet Lycan push, and then they were like, no, I don't want to put Lycan against the Sven, and then they went for someone who countered the Sven rather than aided in their strategy. And you can see why we talk about ease of execution a lot in these games, and it's very clear from this game that these 5 players were not of a hive mentality. They were not reading the same book. They were not moving towards the same places. They were not trying to take the same objectives, and they had different timelines on when they thought that they could win the game. It's not over yet, but it's definitely an uphill battle for now. And the captaining too. Maybe it's time to go back to the Yao Lich so you can give your team some orders.
There we go. I take a page out of the L and FY book.
Yeah, this is the fight. If they don't get Roche, they will.
All right, well, let's watch and see. LGD got a lot of damage if they can stay on the targets and get them before those BKBs come down, or possibly kite those BKBs away and then counter-initiate afterwards.
Pat Ryder actually didn't go for 4 seconds. That's also pretty unusual and cool. Okay, here they go. Oh, man, is he going to be able to get what? That Triton's already dead?
They do a lot of damage. They do actually scout these guys out, though, and Super now trying to run away, but they had that ward down. There's going to be the Ravage. Immediately, Super's still alive. Manages to get that Ice Blast off. It connects onto several, and now a hell of a lot of damage. Baby is already gone. Super bought back into the game as well. Victoria's out of there. Everybody wants to run away because the big bad IGV are going to chase them down and end their life.
Yeah, Death Prophet has just fallen too far behind. Her time to shine was 20 minutes ago. Paparazzi will clean up the remnants of LGD's base.
Last hurrah once more unto the breach. The damage coming from Cicada, and they are going to take down the tier 3 tower. A blinding light pushback. Dogfight's there as well. They connect on the stun from Ame, and there's going to be the Ice Blast. Clips through, so it applies the debuff before he comes out of the snowball. And now, no way out, nowhere left to go. Ame will slowly die as he freezes to death. There he goes, and Yao now down as well. Ame's going to buy back. They pop the Exorcism. They really want to fight. They're not having any of it now. In July is going to fall, but already that is going to be tier 3 towers and barracks down, and GG called. IGV give LGD their first loss of the tournament in spectacular fashion.
I think LGD have to be very disappointed with the way that they played this game. They played much better yesterday, and yeah, this was not a team.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to watch and see if LGD can figure out what they want to do going into the next one. It did definitely, like you said, felt like it was more on the draft than it was.
I think they could have played it better, but the draft was still